Well, hello again. It's been a long winter break, but we're back with more Scottish classic motorcycle racing here at Round 1 in Finavon in Forfar. Well, yes, it's been a long winter break, but we're finally back with another classic racing season for you all to enjoy here on my YouTube channel. Now, with regards to Scotland, we have an 8-round championship for you this year, starting at this round here at Finavon in Forfar and finishing in Whitekirk in October. So we've got a very busy year with regards to the Scottish Championship. Also throughout this year we'll be doing our usual visit to the Cumberland Grand National down at Penrith in June, and also in June we will be taking another visit to Ireland for a charity 2-day scramble at Cecil Pearson's track at that time in June. So we'll be looking forward immensely to that particular event. Also in August we will also be taking our usual visit to the Kendal Classic Revival Scramble, which is a fantastic event also held in Penrith. So we're looking forward to that particular event as well. Now, also new for 2019, I have a new sponsor helping me out with my YouTube channel, and it's thanks to Bill Brown and Marion at Wolfsport for their very kind donations to my YouTube cause, who they will be supplying all my equipment required for my paddock walkabouts with regards to jackets and these lovely Wolfsport hats. So it looks like this is going to be another busy year in 2019, and we are starting off with this round 1 here at Finavon Hill in Forfar. It's a very cold morning. It's -5 at this moment in time. The sun is, as you can see, is just coming out. So we are looking forward to some fantastic racing on this track today. So let's enough of the talking, let's get back to the paddock and catch a glimpse of some of those winter projects that have been taking place as the riders take part in this first round of the Scottish Classic Motorcycle Club's Racing Championship right here at Finavon Hill in Forfar. Okay, we're going to take a look at some of those nice bikes that were captured in the paddock at this round 1 event in Finavon in Forfar. We'll have a look at some of the bikes and I'll try and talk you through 1 or 2 details about the bikes. Now, this first machine up is Billy Pentlands 1987 YZ490 Yamaha. Now, you may have noticed straight away that this bike has had a twin shock conversion on the swing arm. Of course, this bike was initially a monoshock machine, which Billy has then converted to a twin shock configuration. Now, there is a full video on the build of this machine on my YouTube channel in another video, so if you'd like to just search my YouTube channel, you will find this bike and all the details of the build. Now make no mistake, although this is a twin shock conversion, this is still a very quick machine on the track, and don't forget all the bikes that you see in this particular video clip can be seen in action on the track right here on my YouTube channel. So there you have it, that's Billy Pentlands 1987 YZ490 Yamaha with the twin shock conversion. Now our next machine up is Glen Wilson's CR250 Honda. Now of course this machine is not a concourse bike by any means, but like many of the bikes featured in this video, these are all working machines and are all built for racing and not really for just looking at. Now as you can see, the weather for our very first event of the 2019 season was absolutely superb. When these videos were taken, it was about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and the sun was absolutely gorgeous. Now this Honda CR250 is Glen's latest machine. Glen, of course, a very accomplished rider, and usually or used to race 490 Michaels, but in this particular case he has opted for this very nice CR250 Honda for the 2019 racing season. Okay, this is a bike that needs no introduction whatsoever. This is Stewart Rodin's 1974 CCM. Now Stewart won the pre-1975 class on this particular machine in 2018, and as you can see, the old British CCM looks absolutely gorgeous in this low spring sunshine. Now of course this machine is just one of the many bikes Stuart has in his dirt bike collection, and as you can see here, the bike has been maintained to the very highest of mechanical standards. Now this is probably due to the fact that as a previous employment, Stuart was heavily connected with Formula 1 racing, so these high precision engineering tasks will certainly be no stranger to Stuart's spanner work. Although, mind you, having said that, I'm sure Stuart could have picked a better stand than this old spade to hold this very nice classic machine upright. Okay, moving along now, we come to Brian Aird's very nice little BSA with the new paint job on the tank. Brian seems to change the colour of this tank more times than he changes his underwear, but that's maybe another story. But these BSAs are very popular machines in the Scottish Classic Racing Club. As you can see here, these have CZ rear hubs and a CZ front hub as well. Very popular fitments for these old BSA bikes with, I think these are Italian Seriani forks as well. But a very nice machine and a very quick machine, as you will soon find out when you see the bike perform on the racetrack. Brian, of course, is related to the CCM racing legend Jimmy Aird, famous Scotsman. And of course Jimmy still races bikes at many of the big events around the UK. And so it's not hard to see where Brian gets his racing speed from when you have men like Jimmy Aird in the family. So there you have it, that's Brian Aird's very nice little BSA. Brian's bikes are always well turned out when they turn up at these Scottish Classic racing events. But there we have his lovely BSA, a nice old-fashioned British scrambler. Okay, moving right along here, this is local man Derek Macaulay. And Derek, of course, is a die-hard Bultaco man, and you can see a couple of Derek's machines in this particular clip, a couple of very nice 250 Bultaco Pursangs. Derek, of course, goes well on these 250 bikes, as you will see later on. If you tune into the racing from this event on my YouTube channel, you will see Derek in action on these two lovely Spanish-made Bultacos. Getting to be a bit of a rarity now in the UK on classic racing tracks, these Bultacos. Very quick and very nimble bikes in their day, although there is not a lot of riders who actually use them on the track these days. It's only guys like Derek who absolutely love these machines, who keep them out there on the track where of course they belong. Now these bikes have taken Derek to some really good results in 2018, so he's been doing some winter preparation and hopes he will find the speed and get some better results in this brand new 2019 racing season. So a couple of very nice examples of the Spanish Bultaco motocross mark there. That's Derek Macaulay's lovely Bultaco Pursangs. Now you can't have a paddock video without having a good old-fashioned 1981 490 Micro in it. Now this particular example belongs to Jim Grieve, who is a very accomplished rider and very quick on the racetrack on this bike, which you will see if you continue to tune in to my YouTube channel. Now this particular bike, of course, is the 490 fitted with the Enduro frame. Now it's usually quite easy to spot the Enduro frame when if you look at the rear of the seat there is a special loop being added to the frame, which is unmistakably the enduro bike, as you can see here. Now, Jim also races this machine with the Scottish Twin Shock Scramble Club, and if my memory serves me correctly, this bike took Jim to the championship win in the over 50s class in 2018. Now, you don't need me to tell you about these 490 Micos. They are possibly one of the fastest machines that ever graced a motocross track, and when you consider these bikes are from 1981, with the proper rider on board, these machines are very formidable race bikes, even in today's modern standards. Now, as our Michael theme continues, we're now going to take a look at Kevin Smith's very nice 250 Michael Spider. Now, I stand to be corrected here, but I'm sure that this bike is a 1983 model, but I'm sure my YouTubers will correct me and point me in the right direction if that's not the case. Now, Kevin races this machine regularly with the Scottish Classic Motorcycle Club, and that little 250 reed valve Michael motor sounds really sweet when Kevin gets this thing fired up. Now, with regards to the Spider reference, I'm unsure where this actually fits in with this 250 bike. It may be some kind of Americanism that was added to the bike to give it a little more appeal, but nevertheless, still a very nice looking machine, and very original when you look at many of the parts on this lovely bike. Now, of course, you can hear the bike running and actually see the bike in action on the racetrack by simply just subscribing to my YouTube channel. So that's our second Michael of the day. That's Kevin Smith's lovely Michael 250 Spider. Okay, our next machine is Doogie Rose's lovely Curtis 500 Honda. Now, Doogie is actually quite a new club member, and I think this will be Doogie's second racing season with the Scottish Classic Motorcycle Racing Club. Now, Doogie actually races this machine in the pre-1984 class, which is one of our most popular classes here at the Scottish Classic Club. We do get a good influx of these pre-1984 machines, including these Hondas, Micos, Yamahas, and various other bikes from that pre-1984 era. But this example is Doogie's very nice Curtis Honda. Looks all the part original as far as I'm aware, and Doogie does really well on this machine, racing in that pre-1984 1984 class. Once again, a very nice machine. Doogie Rose lovely 4-stroke Curtis Honda. Okay, next up we're back to the old 2-strokes again, and this lovely YZ490 Yamaha belongs to David Loudon, who won the pre-1984 class on this particular machine last year and also became the club champion for 2018. Now this bike, of course, is just one of David's YZ Yamahas. David has 2 of these machines, and both these bikes served him well in 2018, and this is a very fast machine indeed, and as I said earlier, this took David to that pre-84 championship title just last year. So I think David will be hoping for more of the same while riding this lovely bike during 2019. So that's a very brief look at David Loudon's 2018 championship winning YZ490 Yamaha. Now our next featured bike is Kenny Harper's brand new CZ for the 2019 championship season. Now you may recall that Kenny had a pair of lovely Bultacos that he used to race with the Scottish club. Now he still has his 2 Spanish Bultacos, but this year he has opted to add a 3rd bike to his collection and race this very nice CZ 360 for 2019. Now, as far as I'm aware, Kenny did not build this bike, but purchased the bike complete and ready to race. Now the bike has been finished to a very high standard, and it looks for all the world like a fully blown, ready to go racer. Now these CZs are becoming very popular bikes with the classic racing fraternity. Now whether this is due to the availability of spare parts or the reliability, I'm unsure, but they're certainly becoming very popular among classic riders. Now, of course, the motor on these machines is a single-cylinder twin exhaust port configuration, and this particular bike has been fitted with one of these slick shift gear shifters, which eliminates the long throw usually associated with these old CZ bikes. This new shifter system makes the gear shifter act more like a Japanese bike and keeps the throw on the shifter very short. Okay, next up we're going to move to the Jawa collection of the Bell family. Now the Bell brothers and Father Mike all race these superb Jawa machines, and don't let these engines fool you that they look old-fashioned. These bikes are remarkably fast on the racetrack, which you will soon see if you continue to watch the racing from this event here on my YouTube channel. Now this number 9 machine of course belongs to Lewis Bell, and these big long stroking Jawa motors can fairly put down the power to the back wheel on these Rickman frames. Now this featured bike, this 89 numbered machine, is Liston Bell's machine, and when Liston and brother Lewis get onto the track in the same race, the sparks soon start to fly. There is no love lost between these two guys once they get onto the track with these bikes. Very powerful machines, these big 500 Jawa bikes. Okay, our next bike is another CZ. This featured machine is a 360 twin port CZ, and this bike of course belongs to Stuart Riddle. Now Stuart loves these old twin port CZs and has been racing them for many years, and there's not a lot that Stuart doesn't know about these old Czechoslovakian twin port machines. Now it's always amazed me why CZ designed this machine with twin exhausts at the bottom end of the engine, where it could get hit by stones or other debris, and not to mention getting bogged down if the bike was to encounter very soft ground. But it always amazed me why they designed the bike with these exhausts on the bottom, but nevertheless it didn't seem to be a problem with some of the big riders who got great successes with these bikes back in the day. So maybe the design wasn't too bad after all. Now this rubber band return elastic is Stuart's own design for this bike. Simple but effective. So there we have it. That's Stuart Riddle's very nice 360cc twin port CZ. Now our CZ theme continues with this lovely machine. Now this bike belonged to a brand new club member who had just recently enrolled with the Scottish Classic Motorcycle Club. Now the rider told me that he had never ever raced a motocross bike on a real track before, although he was looking forward to lining up with another 20 or so riders as he took to the track with this brand new machine. Now the rider did tell me that he was building this bike through the winter. He never actually bought the bike in this condition, but built it himself, so he obviously knows his way around a motorcycle, because he seems to have made a very nice job of putting this lovely CZ together. Now, as opposed to what particular year this bike is, the owner did tell me on the day that it was a 1974, but as usual, I stand to be corrected. Okay, moving right along here, this is Jake Whitelaw's very nice BSA 500 Victor. Now these, as I said earlier, BSAs are very popular race bikes with not only the Scottish club but many of the classic racing clubs up and down the country. Now, whether this is due to the availability of spares for these old bikes, I'm not really sure, but there are certainly plenty of them around on the racetracks of the UK. Now, this featured bike has a KTM magnesium rear hub fitted on the back wheel. Yes, without doubt, there is definitely something about these old BSA 500 classic dirt bikes. It just seems to be that no matter what angle you view the bike from, they just look right and are very aesthetically pleasing. And Jake's 500 BSA Victor here is no exception. A very nice and very purposeful old fashioned dirt bike. Okay, that's our second last bike from the paddock in this particular video clip. That's a brief look at Jake Whitelaw's very nice BSA 500 Victor. Now, we just couldn't finish the video off without having a look at Ian Ridley's immaculately turned out BSAs. Now, these two bikes are just a couple of the many BSAs Ian has in his dirt bike collection. And as usual, the engineering on Ian's machines are always second to none, and they always draw the crowds at Scottish classic race events. Now, Ian, of course, is a very valued club member and does a lot of hard work in the background to help run our events throughout the year. And without Ian's valued assistance, many of our events would certainly not take place. So, hope you've enjoyed having a look at these bikes from the paddock at this round one event here at Finavon in Forfar. And don't forget, all the bikes you've seen here in the paddock can be seen on the track in action on my YouTube channel. So if you like what you see, please subscribe. Until the next time, I'll see you soon. This video was brought to you in association with WorldSport, the world's #1 supplier for all your off-road and leisure sportswear. Just visit their online website for more details.